Welcome back, my friends, to another episode with the Genie. And here we are again, diving into the lie NASA told. And we are at the final installment of this series, whereby we are going to be looking at exactly how you transcend this demonic inversion placed upon reality and ascend to new heights within your infinite being, whereby you are no longer subject to the fake laws that govern our modern world, and you can step in to your own power and realign with the freedom that is your birthright. So here we are to begin today. Now, my friends, if you haven't watched the previous 3 installments of this series, I would highly recommend you pausing now and going doing so. But for those of you who have followed along, let's get into this. Now, here we have the Book of Life. Now, what is the Book of Life? The Book of Life is a record that is used to recall all of the family members when it is time for them to return to their arcs. Now, what does that mean? The Book of Life is essentially, or could be conceptualized as, the Akashic Records, or the Aifa, which is where consciousness writes and stores all events and all contents for eternity. So the Book of Life is what records your DNA lineage, so that when it is time, i.e. when the body perishes, and you have to return and ascend up your spiral, you return along the corresponding arc which resonates with your DNA. Now, is your name written in the Book of Life? If your name is not on the list, then you are not returning to that arc, because you are not a part of that family, that bloodline. At the end of the cycle, all the families return to gather their children back to their own arcs and then move forward, according to the plan of the father of their branch. To do this, they take the individual and then place the seal on their foreheads. Now, this correlates quite obviously with the means of baptizing a child, so you can see where that inversion has its roots in reality. Internally, this seals and labels the individual as their family member. Most are not aware of this is ever done, because it is done before the veil lifts. The veil being that which is obstructing your perception, so that you can see clearly into the essence of who you truly are and the inner workings of the way in which reality functions, both in existence, in duality, and beyond. When the call is given, all of the people are transferred to their own family's arc. Those who are good go through the east gate. Those who are evil go through the west gate. Now, as we know, it is the east whereby the sun rises, and it's the west whereby the sun sets, which makes sense and correlates with this idea, because the rising of the sun is the rising of the light, and the diminishing of the sun, the absence of the sun, and the darkness is the west. Good and evil, dark and light. God, He is the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the infinity that is beyond, the incomprehensible, unimaginable enormity that gave birth to everything that ever is and ever can be. Every branch has a father, but the specific father of the branch of man is called the One, because we are a reflection of oneness in form. That's what makes us so beautiful, because we are literally the reflection of love and wisdom. He assumes the form of man so that he can interact with his children, mankind. He has come to retrieve those who have chosen him. So who is it that has chosen him? The ones that have chosen him are the ones that have chosen wisdom, love, kindness, gratitude, essentially everything of your higher nature above your lower animal natures. That is all that is necessary to choose the light over the darkness. God, the father of our branch, never forgot about us and is now coming to collect us. He is coming to kill Satan, and his new world order. This began in 2007. Now, I may be totally wrong here, but because of what is said later on in this document, which we will obviously be going into shortly, I actually believe that this is a so-called picture of the Earth, and we are actually rotated so that we are no longer vertical, but we are horizontal, which is to do with some sort of inversion which has been placed upon our reality. The Allied forces, the Army of God, used a strong energy weapon called parachute weapon. It has a type of star bomb connected. Uranus was the first one defeated in January 2009 when he/it was trying to stop the attack. It was completely annihilated. By April 15, 2008, the Allied forces had caught up to Neptune, who ran up when was destroyed. When the rest of the planet here, who had no idea what was going on, Elizabeth, the Vatican, Freemasons and the Illuminati had direct contact with the 7 system lords, the demons. As we now know that it is the 7 system lords, the demonic entities, the overlords, which work through these entities that you can see here, Elizabeth, Vatican, Freemasons and Illuminati, to continue and propagate the control structure which dominates our Earth and inverts our reality. In the meanwhile, allies continue to destroy the Kuiper Belt, alien planets. Interesting. Banksters were openly stealing the homesteads, which is punishable by death penalty by universal law. Now, this is interesting here and something I want to touch upon, because you have the law of the land, which is what has been put in place, and then you have universal law. Now, universal law is written into the fabric of existence itself and cannot be blemished or destroyed. And universal law is the true law, which is dictated by love and wisdom, which governs all events throughout eternity, and it is totally unavoidable because it is through the means of universal law that divine justice takes place. All humanity was offered by Elizabeth as a food source to the 7 system lords. Everyone who came to the Bilderberg meet become implanted. They use people as slaves and to steal their money to build ships to fight God and the Allied forces. So, these controllers have used humanity as a slave race to build out their technology they need to essentially fight off the divine energy which is coming to save us. Now, the technology being that of 5G, that of the social credit system, and everything electronic which is being put in place here to continue to dumb down humanity to such an extent whereby we can't ascend up and beyond our lower natures and see into the true essence of who we truly are. Whistleblower from NASA and NSA, Dr. Eric Norton, who worked as an outside consultant to protect the Earth against meteorites, he saw how a huge fleet was approaching Earth in January 2013. Allied forces hit Mercury on January 24, 2013, and the cabal went into full panic mode. The Allied forces defeated the alien bases on the planets and here on Earth. In February 2014, the Papal gate symbol was destroyed, which means there is no way out to escape left for the cabal. So their time is numbered, and what we are seeing now is the ascension of the human race up into the pinnacle of consciousness, which is what's going to bring about the total demise of their control structure and essentially render the darkness within duality powerless. So you can see here the Papal gate, and we've seen this symbol throughout our modern world many a time, and as you can see here, we are being shown the meaning of this symbol and the reason why it has been used throughout our history and throughout our modern world as inversion upon reality. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars and Venus were captured in March 2014. HARP, which was used to sabotage the move of the people moving back to the east, is now overwhelmed. So as you can see, their technology is failing. They have nothing to fall back on. By March 21st, 2014, all enemies were conquered. God won. Now remember, my friends, that a year in the reality of eternity is such a speck that we have to allow in our mind the understanding that for this to manifest on the dual plane completely and throughout will certainly take time, whereby it may be a period of 10 years, of 20 years, of 50 years before we truly see the manifesting of this higher consciousness upon the earth. This is what Earth looks like on her pole. Now remember, again, as I said in the previous episode, this doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but this is just what we're being shown. And it's fascinating considering that supposedly the Earth, by my interpretation and understanding, is a flat plane with a potential dome with which all the light is contained. The Earth will be put back in balance and bring it to the light. The vertical position was used to create day and night. The Allies were parked above us. They are not invading aliens. Nibiru is not going to cross, and you are not going to die. They are moving us out of the abyss, which is hell. The first thing they will do is rotate the Earth to a horizontal position for the purpose of light. So what this is saying is that the Earth was purposely moved out of balance, which makes sense, whereby day and night is a thing. But essentially, what the truth is, there is actually supposed to be no nighttime on Earth, and that we are supposed to live in an eternal day with the light. Whether that be true and whether that occur is another thing to be said. All electricity worldwide will be cut off in the early hours of the morning. Now this ties into the idea of the 10 days of darkness, the blackouts, the electrical grid going out, and there being this 3-day potential reset. All life that is good will be given the call. This unplugs them so they wake up and stand out of their body in their light body. This is when the veil lifts and all memory returns, memory being that of your true essence and all of your past lives. The dome is lifting and the artificial skies are disappearing. Everybody is racing for the doorway. From here you are transferred to the arcs, your corresponding bloodline. The seal, which is your choice, depends on what arc you go to. The people can be evacuated from Earth in 10 minutes. Absolutely mind-blowing. Then it will be veiled again to deal with the rest, which are evil. Everything which is negative will be drowned to the pot, which will be sealed and to never be opened again, to essentially lock evil away for eternity. All people move through the east gate to the beautiful universe with green and blue water planets, and will be reunited with their family, and the 5th book of life starts. The One says that he is going to do something new, something we have never seen before. Because of our hardship, we have earned some fun time. Now you can see here the idea of the Earth moving back to its horizontal balance, whereby the holographic Skynet lifts so that we can actually leave and ascend out of here, so that we can return back to our true home, whereby the new book of life will start, at which we will be given the gift of living in a harmonious balance. That is what we are supposed to do. Now my friends, this is the end of the document, as you can see. What I'm going to do is place this document down in the description below for you, whereby you can go and download it yourself and read through it and inspect it on different levels, so that you can hopefully take from it even more than I've given to you. That will be down in the description below, so make sure you check that out. But if you did enjoy this final installment to this series, make sure to smash that like button down below. Leave any comments, suggestions or thoughts that are running through your mind right now in the comment section, and be sure to subscribe for more content to come. I have other documents just like this, which I'm sure you're going to be excited for, so keep an eye out for them. But I truly thank you for all of your support on my channel and all of the love that you show me, and I will be back soon with another episode. Goodbye.